no one here has it all figured out. You might look at someone like Alex and look up to him. And I certainly look up to him and think very highly of him, but he's still got stuff he's always figuring out. And same with me and same with Claire. And it's a continual work, in my opinion, until the day you die, of trying to get better, at whatever craft you're working in, your inner game, building community. And so if you're feeling right now like, man, I'm on top of the world and I'm killing it and I'm making a ton of money and I got my crew and like feeling good inside, then like, cool. Maybe we should talk like in a couple months. And if you're doing good, like maybe you need to ride that, or maybe you need to find, you keep working with your coach or whatever you're doing. But if something is lingering inside, even if you've had a ton of success, even if you've been doing some of this stuff for a long time, even if you used to have a crew, or maybe you have a crew and there's something missing there, be open to a conversation. One conversation can change the trajectory, of your life and of your career.
So Clara, I would love to hear what was your experience from the event as well. I think, you did such an incredible job of, you were really the mastermind behind making sure everything actually went smoothly over the entire 3 days. And you, I know, had some great one-on-ones with people. You led an incredible yoga session too, which was very much needed at that point. And so just would love for you to kind of drop some nuggets here.
Yeah, I love planning. So I got to be in the driver's seat, Tom, for planning this weekend. And that was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of pressure. You both talked about some negativity that you felt leading up to that event. I definitely felt that too, but I think it was more so for me, imposter syndrome. Like, am I the right person to be organizing and co-facilitating an event like this? And I love, like I mentioned earlier, like just diving headfirst into experiences, because so much of what we go through in life is a mirror. So, the first night when we were there was an instance that happened where logistics were messed up on my part. I made a mistake and someone didn't have a room to sleep in. They ended up sleeping on the couch. And I'm a big empath. So I put myself in the shoes of other people. And I've done, we did a ton of work leading up to this event where I wanted everything to go smoothly. And that experience where this one thing went wrong was such a mirror for me, because all of these feelings of, okay, maybe I shouldn't be the person organizing the logistics. Maybe I am not right to be here. All of those, self-limiting beliefs start to happen. And my work is not to absorb, but to observe. And I really took that away from that weekend and that one experience of being an empath. How do I not absorb everyone's energies and feelings and thoughts, but more so, how do I observe what's happening for individual people and observe without judgment? And from there, help people and myself without judgment, observing my own emotions and experiences and everything without judgment, help myself and other people be the best possible version of themselves. And taking that step back that weekend, even from that first experience that happened, I know I shared it with both of you and I felt so awful. And I had to take a step back and be like, this is all part of the journey. This is an opportunity to grow and to learn and to show up better next time. And then I got to observe other people's experiences. Someone at the event, it was the anniversary of their dad passing, and they very vulnerably shared that in a container of 3, where I got to observe all 3 of these people talking about how they're feeling about the event, and that topic came up. With that observation, I got to create a really sacred experience for that person and myself, and tap into connecting with their lost parent. I was able to pull people aside at the pool party, which was so much fun. And we talked about this creamy machine where it makes like ice cream and different protein shakes. Like, we didn't all just talk about sales. We got to talk about what's important to people and just connect and observe what people needed. And I loved being part of that community and being able to help people really come out of their shell and to see them for who they truly are and to help them step into their purpose and their vision.
I think we were sharing with us three, and Tom, you remember this? I was like, Claire just seems like she's like sprinkling a little fairy dust every single place that she goes, just like adding a little bit of magic to all these different conversations, these experiences, and it was awesome to see you in that truth. And I think I would love to just kind of hear Tom, but give you first of just like for those who might be thinking about it. Attending the immersion or just wanting to hear more, like what would your recommendation? What would you say to those people there?
Well, I'd say two things. One thing kind of stood out to me when Clara was talking. I was thinking about our Slack channel that we have going post immersion, and some of the conversations we've had with people. And like people are coming out of this as on the other side is quite different. Like we got one person that is afraid of heights, and they skydived, whatever you say, like 3 days afterwards. And they were like, I'm afraid of a second floor building, and I went skydiving with my buddy. The other person says, I refer to myself as we'll say their name's John. That's not their real name, but it's like pre-Austin John, post-Austin John. And the post-Austin John, his wife is saying is way more connected with him and more, more patient and more present. It's just really cool to hear, like, yeah, you had a badass time, but also like, what are the lingering positive impacts? So that's one thing. But I think the real thing to consider is this is an ongoing practice for all of us. We each kind of shared how we came into the event, maybe feeling off, or at some points in the event, we're off at some point, feeling imposter syndrome, feeling nervous, feeling in a rut. And the truth is that it's always going to happen. Like there's always one of these three pillars or more that we're all working on together, and no one here has it all figured out. You might look at someone like Alex and look up to him. And I certainly look up to him and think very highly of him, but he's still got stuff he's always figuring out. And same with me and same with Claire. And it's a continual work, in my opinion, until the day you die, of trying to get better, at whatever craft you're working in, your inner game, building community. And so if you're feeling right now, like, man, I'm on top of the world and I'm killing it and I'm making a ton of money and I got my crew and like I'm feeling good inside, then like, cool. Maybe we should talk like in a couple months. And if you're doing good, like maybe you need to ride that, or maybe you need to find, you keep working with your coach or whatever you're doing. But if something is lingering inside, even if you've had a ton of success, even if you've been doing some of this stuff for a long time, even if you used to have a crew, or maybe you have a crew and there's something missing there, be open to a conversation. One conversation can change the trajectory, of your life and of your career. And, we're always open to chat. So I think that's what I would say, is that it's just an ongoing process and something that we're all working on. And regardless of where you are in your career, it could be just a good time to observe where you're at, how you're feeling. And, if this might be something that might be calling to you.